Train of the Bullets.
Train of the Bullets. Today we're going to be reviewing Bullet Train. Might I tell you, I absolutely love this movie. It was great. It was a fun action movie.
Bullet Train it's directed by David Leitch. He directed Deadpool 2. I really had a good time with it as well. I think even you liked it more than I did, but I still had a blast with it. That style from Deadpool 2 is all over this movie, and it's really prevalent. But also, there's another kind of influence in it as well. You get kind of like a Guy Ritchie, Snatch / Edgar Wright, like you were saying, Shaun of the Dead as style pace, type of style to it, where this movie moves at a certain pace where the plot isn't always conventional, it's not always chronological, but you're still getting introduced to a really colorful and wacky cast of characters that you do have a really good time with.
I love it because every character we kind of go into a little quick past event with them. They'll show a little bit more of the character. And even those, they're just quick, they're short, the way they're filmed. I just loved it. I love they give a little bit more to the character besides just an introduction and what we're showing. We're showing a little bit more of like what they've done in the past. Cinematography in it is just fantastic with the fantastically beautifully soaked neon glow of it. Oh, it's everywhere. My God. The visual, the lighting is just so good.
To add to that, you definitely get a sense that they really had to, God damn it.
What happened to them?
So to add to that, you definitely get a sense that they really had to really oomph up the effort in the setting and how it looked and how you really felt on this train. Given that the movie predominantly does take place on a train, you really get a sense that they went all out on the color and the set design and the production design of this movie, because you really get to feel like you know the train, and you really get a sense of how each room and each area kind of looks, feels, and differentiates from each other.
The way that the trains are and how they're different is just, I love it because they have their own little theme, and it was adding more to the world of the train.
The Bullet Train, yeah. My two favorite characters easily were Lemon and Tangerine. They made the film for me. I walked into this movie thinking about Brad Pitt, and I walked out of it more thinking about Lemon and Tangerine. Lemon played by Aaron Taylor Johnson, and Tangerine played by... Tangerine is played by Lemon... Tangerine is played by Aaron Taylor Johnson, and Lemon is played by Brian Tyree Henry. They both, tongue twister. They both are great in this, and the thing is, their chemistry is the heart and soul of this movie for me. Yes. Honestly, they were the characters I grew the most attached to by the end, and they were my favorites. So, admittedly, for me, I wish we got more of them, because I liked everyone else, but they were the two like that I really loved their chemistry, their back and forth, their bromance. It was everything for me, and it really did make the movie.
I mean, how could you not love those characters? There's just the banter, everything just about them. I just absolutely adored those characters. I just instantly fell in love with them, just the way they are, and they're perfect.
Yeah, no, they're great. Their chemistry is electric. It's fantastic, and it's a great counterpoint to Brad Pitt's character, who's, again, his own vibe, and really his whole character with this kind of like badass kind of action hero kind of presentation, but also someone who kind of wants to kind of take it easy and change. He has been going on this whole like spiritual journey that became a really funny on-running gag in the movie that ultimately fit into his character arc really well. I thought it was really clever how they did that. Yeah. There was another character, he's like a father figure. I don't want to get too much into it because like spoilers, but there's kind of an emotional center there that I admittedly didn't really feel too much. I'm not going to lie to myself, he was the one character actually I wasn't attached to, and this is kind of where my negatives of the movie come in, is I think sometimes this film has trouble juggling all of its characters. There's so many characters in this movie. They're all so colorful and so different and so out there and so crazy and so zany that when you have so many of them constantly being introduced at such a rapid rate, and you have flashbacks constantly going back to explain certain things and how each thing connects, sometimes it can all feel very jumbled and messy and not fully smoothly integrated into the story, which can not make for the smoothest ride getting to its point, but I still think it's a fun point nonetheless by the end. Regardless of the fact that I didn't feel fully like emotion attached to every single person, I could pick and choose which characters I liked by the end, and I still had a blast because I liked the roster that we had.
It's like, it's like, honestly, with all the characters, it didn't really... I didn't mind it so much. I honestly loved the way they kind of did it. I mean, they gave us certain characters to be kind of attached to, but not all of them were kind of like meant to be attached to. It was just kind of, a fun action movie that you can just kind of turn your brain off and watch. But it is a wild ride.
Definitely has some of the funniest moments. Again, I go back to it. Lemon and Tangerine absolutely made the movie. They have there's one in particular moment, specifically from Aaron Taylor Johnson. I keep harping back to him, but it's just a line delivery where back and forth between him and Brad Pitt that had me gut bust laughing in the theater, and I was just having a great time at that point. Definitely think the movie has fantastic action. The action sequences are really hardcore. They're really brutal, really fast, really well cut together, and really fluid in how they move. You really get a John Wick-esque vibe from it. That's something I loved in Deadpool 2, and that's something also that carries over into here. You really get that kinetic ass action that really, it's pulse pounding, it's intense, it's fun. Sometimes it's used for really funny jokes. They even infuse physical comedy within the fights. Like you saw in the trailers that they would kind of do that, and the way they do it's all clever. It doesn't ever come across as tacky or annoying. Yeah, there's not really too much to say on this one.
Yeah, it's a wild, fun ride that I think everyone should give a watch.
Yeah, fun time. Loses a bit of steam in the third act for me, but I had a good time. Go check it out. Go watch Bullet Train. Yeah. And try not to get Staying Alive stuck in your head.